Hello, this is Mr. Knowles, and this math video focuses on two-digit times two-digit multiplication using an area model or a multiplication sketch. Below is an example. Most parents are familiar with the standard algorithm. Like that's what I learned when I was a child. Uh, but today, or maybe we had it and we just don't remember it, but today, early on in elementary school, students learn an area model concept first, and then they progress towards the standard algorithm. So in fourth grade, right now, we're learning an area model. And in fifth grade, they will then move towards the standard algorithm. Doesn't mean you can't teach them that, but this is expected in fourth grade, this model. So let's get started. 29 times 24. So how this model works is you look at each number by its place value parts. So 29 is really 20 plus 9, and 24 is 20 plus 4. And then we build a quick sketch. At the beginning of this, we were using base 10 graph paper because the graph paper made perfect grids for us to use. And now we've moved away from that concept to just drawing a quick sketch. So what I'm doing is I'm drawing the dimensions of an area of a rectangle. So there's this rectangle that forms here. 24 is one dimension and 29 is the other dimension. I've broken them into their place value parts, and between the place value parts, or the addition signs, I'm going to draw these lines like this. And what's going to happen is in each section or sub area, I'm going to do a multiplication problem, which is really the partial products of this multiplication problem, and then I'll add them together. So in this box here, I'm going to do 20 times 20. Well, 2 times 2 I know is 4, and then there's a 0 in this 20 and a 0 in this 20, so it's 2 zeros, so it's 400. And then if I go to the right, I have a 20 times a 4. 20 times 4, that's 80. Now I'm going to go to the lower left-hand corner, and I have a 9 times a 20. Well, 9 times 2 is 18, and then the 20 has a 0, so I'm going to just put a 0 in there, so it's 180. And now in the lower right-hand corner, I have a 9 times a 4. It goes in that section. Well, 9 times 4 I know is 32. So I have these four areas. They're called partial products, and I have to add them. So again, 20 times 20 was 400. 20 times 4 was 80. 9 times 20 was 180. And 9 times 4 is 32. And then I add these partial products. 2, 16, 19, carry the 1. Hopefully I did my math right. 696 is the answer. Now, do I have to write all that down there? Not necessarily, but I do have students do that mostly because here is where they're gonna start thinking in partial products, and if anything is starting to connect with the standard algorithm, you'll notice that the standard algorithm is based on partial products itself. So this is where they're gravitating towards that standard algorithm thinking. Let's do a few more. 35 times 23. So 35 is 30 plus 5, And then the 23 is a 20 plus a 3. I'm going to go a little faster now. So if I do a quick sketch, 30 plus 5, 20 plus 3. I have my dimensions of a rectangle. My rectangle is here. My partial products are between the addition signs. So there's always 4 sections or 4 regions with two-digit numbers. And then I solve these 4 sections, these multiplication problems. So 20 times 30, I know 2 times 3 is 6. And there's 2 zeros, so 600. I know that 20 times 5 is 100. I'm going to go to the lower left-hand corner. 3 times 30, I know 3 times 3 is 9. Then there's a 0 in the 30, so it's 90. And 3 times 5 is 15 in the lower right-hand corner. I'm going to add these partial products over here. Again, I'm going to go kind of quickly because these are things we should know how to do. And hopefully, if I did my math right, my answer is 805. I think we'll do 2 more. 45 times 37. All right. 40 plus 5. And the other dimension is 30 plus 7. Make my dimensions of a rectangle that I'm going to find the area of. That's why it's called the area model. And here we go. Oops, I forgot my 7, didn't I? Should probably put that there. There we go. All right, upper right-hand corner is 30 times 40. 3 times 4 is 12. There's 2 zeros. So I have 1,200 for that. Upper right-hand corner, 30 times 5. I know 3 times 5 is 15. And there's a 0 in the 30, so it's 150. Now I'm going to move to the lower left-hand corner. 7 times 4 is 28. But it's not a 4, it's a 40. So 7 times 40 is 280. And the lower right-hand corner, 7 times 5, 35. Now I'm going to add these up. Make sure you line things properly. This is where a lot of people make very simple mistakes because they're not lining their numbers up correctly by place value. I'm going to add these up. 5, 5, 8, and 3. I think that's 16. And 1, 2, and another 1, 2. I think that's 6. And then I have a 1. 1,000. If I did my addition right, 1,665 is my answer. One more. 52 times 63. All right, 50 plus 2. 60 plus 3. Finding the area of a rectangle. And those are the partial product regions. 6 times 5 is 30. And there's 2 zeros, 1 in the 60, 1 in the 50, so I got to add 2 more zeros there. So 60 times 50 is 3,000. Upper right-hand corner, 60 times 2, that's just 2 60s, right? 120. Hope you know that. Lower left-hand corner, 3 times 50. 3 times 5 is 15. There's a 0 in the 50, so it's 150. And 3 times 2 is 6. I'm going to add those partial products over here. And a 6. Add them up. Hopefully my math is correct. 3,276. 3,276 76. I hope that this was helpful to you. If you need some help or more assistance, please let me know. Thanks.